Hello everybody, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about a Korean movie called Space Sweepers, or in Korean Songgriho. I'm so sorry for butchering this, for murdering it, for making your ears bleed. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. So yeah, Space Sweepers, as I heard, is actually the first ever Korean space movie. I'm surprised by that because seeing where K-drama has come along the way, I'm surprised they haven't done this before. But anyway, it's by Netflix, so I'm sure the money was rolling. Anyway, so yes, let's get into Space Sweepers. So Space Sweepers actually is about this group of Korean scavengers, and they form this. They own a ship called Victory. That's where the Korean name comes from. Actually, the meaning of the Korean version of the movie is called Spaceship Victory, and the name of their spaceship is Victory. So these people came from different walks of life, but they all gathered together, to scavenge for the sake of shmoney. They all gathered together to come. They formed a crew, and what they do is basically take space junk, appraise it, and get money from it. We get to see Earth basically in a dystopian view. That's what it is. It's a futuristic movie, and in futuristic movies, that's what they do. A lot of times they show you a very dead Earth, a desolate Earth, an Earth where it's uninhabitable, and people actually have to fly to the sky to basically live again. I know I've said basically a lot, and I'm sorry for that, but let's just go with it. So yeah, that's where we see, that's what Earth looks like now, and the only way to make a living is in the skies. And that's actually the only place to live, because Earth is getting to a point where human beings will not be able to survive anymore. But there are still people on Earth living, and that's because they can't afford to live in this new place that was made by this man called James Sullivan. He converted Mars from a red planet into an inhabitable place by mechanisms that he didn't really want to share with the world. But he made a difference, so nobody really cares about it. Basically, it kind of reminds me of Snowpiercer, but that's by the way. Anyway, so this guy comes in, makes a new turns Mars into a new Earth, but unfortunately not everybody can live there. The criteria is that you have to be genetically inclined to not be a criminal, to not kind of seek the harm of other people. So he tests people genetically, and if you have some of that inclination, you won't be allowed to live in the new Earth. And as we see, a lot of them are just the 1%ers, the rich people. And of course it would be them. Why not? They are the ones that never get to a point where they are looking for food or a means to live. They have money, so why would they turn to a life of crime? So yeah, a lot of them are just rich, privileged people. But that's by the way. He said it was genetic, so let's just accept it as genetic. So yeah, for the rest of the world, they can't afford that, so they have to live in other places or in the Earth, and they have to scavenge to make a living. And that's where we see our four protagonists. Yeah, so they made a living by looking for space junk, collecting it, and getting money out of it. Okay, so now let's get into what I liked about the movie. Personally, for me, it was amazing, really. And obviously, it's Korean. I'm not trying to be biased here, but they're really coming up, and I think that with the way they are going, at least for African, particularly for Nigeria, they will probably be the next, Mexican soap opera or all those damn Bollywood. They'll probably take over from them, because it's really intriguing and compelling, and that's one thing I really liked about this show. It had a lot of facets. I think good movies and good shows get better with the more genres they put in. Of course, they have to deliver it well, but yeah, if you have a little bit of everything, because that is life. Life is not just one way. Life is not just a thriller. Life is not just a comedy. Life is not just romance. Life has everything in it. And so the more we see, a little bit of reality in a movie or in a show, the more I like it personally, and I think the better it is. So yeah, it had a lot of that, and I really enjoyed it. The characters are lovable. The actors, they did a good job in it. I think the main character, his name is Taeho. He's a very popular Korean actor, and really he does a good work. He actually is in one of the shows I love, Art Dark Chronicles. You guys should check it out. I'm going to do a video about that, and I'm going to talk a lot about it because my goodness. Anyway, that's by the way. So yeah, this actor is so good. Aside from him, the other characters too were good. Aside from Teho, the other characters were good, especially the villain, which is my G. His name is Richard Armitage. He's Thorin Oakenshield from The Hobbit. Oh my goodness, and his voice, oh my god. He's also in Castlevania. The fact that they got this guy in this movie, my mind is blown. Ha! Wow. He's such a good actor. Ha! Oh my goodness, he's such a good actor. And I really loved seeing him in it. A lot of times he's the good guy, he's the protagonist, he's the guy you're rooting for. But here he actually turns out to be the villain, he turns out to be the antagonist, and he delivers. He is so good at it. Yeah, I really liked it. All the characters, they were very good. They were especially the protagonists, they were bubbly. They were, you know, people you could relate to. Their backstories were actually very touching. You know, Teho actually had a daughter that he lost to space, and Captain Jang, she was actually like in the resistance, and she was fighting against with James Sullivan for a long time, and but unfortunately she got caught from her crew. You know, her own backstory is also very deep. Even the Tiger Park, him also being a criminal but also trying to, you know, change and all that, and then the robot as well. Like all of them, they were so nice, they were so amazing, they were so upbeat. You see this crew that basically became a family, even though they were all, you know, from different walks of life. They didn't know each other until, you know, they owned this spaceship. And it shows camaraderie. It shows that you can have family outside the people that you were born with, people that actually live life with you, people that you actually dedicate, you know, your time with and spend time with. They can become your family, and it's lovely. Which brings us to the main point of our story, which is the cutest little Korean girl. I mean, man, gosh, Korean children are cute. They're cute. Anyway, so this little girl who ends up being taken off, who ends up being taken into the ship, and they end up saving and, you know, taking care of her. I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, she gets involved with them, and they basically it then turns into a rescue mission for the girl. And I mean, even that storyline, the adventure part of it was fun. The way they related with her, the way, you know, they took her in, it was so nice. The things that they were able to discover about themselves in just being around her, it was so nice. The story was good, the progression was amazing, the people that they met along the way, which also brings me to the next point. I mean, this personally touched me because it was amazing. So one thing that they did in the movie is that you know, it's the whole earth was involved in this. So people from different countries that couldn't speak each other's language kind of had to speak their own language. But I don't know, with whatever technology they had in the future, they didn't have to learn the other person's language. They just had to speak their own language, and the other person could understand in their own language. So there was no need for an interpreter. You know, it was only they weren't asking what did he say, you know, but like it was only for the audience that they wrote the subtitles for. The rest of them basically understood each other. And there was this one guy who was, in my opinion, he's a Nigerian, but let's just say he's a West African. He spoke pidgin for like most of his time there. That was amazing. I mean, a Korean movie having like pidgin in their movie, like a big blockbuster. It was one of the things that really captured my attention. I did not expect it, and it was wonderful. Really, even for me as a Nigerian, I don't think I can even speak as fluently as that guy there. Whoever he is, he was good on you, bro. Good on you. And the actors, the fact that they were able to follow, I mean, really, they didn't have anybody translating for them, so they kind of had to keep a straight face, like they're understanding every single thing this person is saying. I mean, somebody speaking Chinese to you and you really understand really how, but they all kept a straight face through all those different languages that they interacted with, and it was so fun.
Well, they have to, they're acting. If they break out laughing, how would they film the movie? What do you expect them to do?
Bruh, I liked it. Let's end it there. It was fun to see. It's something that we haven't seen like a lot of, and I enjoyed it, especially because, you know, my Nigerian brother, okay, West African brother was there. I really enjoyed it. It really was a captivating plot to me, and the way it progressed, and the plots and the twists and the turns. If this wasn't a Korean movie, it was just a regular movie, I would have still enjoyed it. It wasn't even just because it was a Korean movie. It was just a Netflix original movie that they brought out, a Netflix original film, and I watched it. I would have still enjoyed it because it really brought so many things that were interesting and captivating, and even like how the villain kind of came to be. It was, I mean, okay, honestly, it wasn't so out there. I mean, he was a villain, so he ended up becoming a villain. It's one of those dimensional types of, like, one of those types of villains. They have varieties. He fits into a variety, but still, I wasn't tired of him. It wasn't a kind of villain where I was like, man. Maybe it's because he's my G, he's my boy. But still, I liked the villain. I liked the storyline. I liked the way it developed. I liked the heart in it, and even the end and how everything ended up. It's a Korean movie, and a lot of times they always want a happily ever after, and they got it, and I enjoyed it. I can't say I hated it for that. I enjoyed it. If I were to rate this movie, I would say it's something I would take time out to watch. Yeah, I would actually actually did. My rating is literally exactly what I did, because for me, that's it. Is it worth my time? Yes, it is. Will I take time out to watch it? Yes, I will. And yes, I did. I enjoyed it, and so will you. Go check out Space Sweepers on Netflix. Yes, well, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and as always, I wish you wellness in every single area of your lives. Bye. Bye. Kile kile.